Welcome in, everyone. You're on Corn This Way. You know what we're talking today. Big Ten football media days. Guess what? Huskers are already done. Hope you were up early if you wanted to catch them. Scott Frost was up there. Of course, the players, Garrett Nelson, Quentin Newsom, and Travis Vokalek, they are done because they got to get back to Lincoln tonight for Fan Day, which we talked about yesterday. So we've got a ton of coverage for you. I'm putting a bunch of links underneath this story. Whether you're on omaha.com or on the YouTubes, you can see everything we're covering today. Sam's up there, Tom's up there, Evan's up there, Amy's up there. A lot of stories coming out of the Husker stuff today, so read all of it because you know you really want to. As for this episode, I got a little theme here today. Let's get a little Edgar Allan Poe, shall we? We're going to call this, quote, the Huskers Nevermore. That's right. Let's look at some quotes from this morning and then overanalyze them because I know that's exactly what you guys want to do today. Lots of good stuff. We'll get it started with Scott Frost up there. His podium sessions, both of them, in front of the general media and in front of more of a Nebraska-centric media. Quick, fast. Matter of fact, didn't even give an opening statement in front of the entire Big Ten herd, which, he's pretty businesslike. He's very edgy, and you expect that from Scott Frost. He had an edge as a player, and he had an edge to coach now, as he should, because it's a very important year. Let's throw the first quote up there, though. You got to love this one. "We didn't earn a bowl trip." And that wasn't the only time he said something of this nature. And, of course, he's talking about that trip to Ireland to play Northwestern in the season opener. All business for the Huskers head coach. We were joking, man, it's going to be a fun trip for those kids. I kid. I'm not being that mean. But I think it shows you the mentality of this program. It is a really cool trip, but at the same time, it's a huge freaking game for Nebraska. They got to win that. So he wasn't buying into the outside of saying Ireland's a beautiful country they can't wait to see. He wasn't buying into the whole, oh, this is going to be great. Very businesslike. So, yeah, that's the Scott Frost we know and love, right? We love that edge. Okay, speaking of Frost, the comments and questions did come up, as we suspect, on this concept of a new offensive coordinator, Mark Whipple being in there with him and his control or influence. And I'm going to tell you what, he was not biting on the narrative that, frankly, I guess the media, maybe the fans, but mostly us, have created, that he's having the control taken away from him on the offense. Let's throw these quotes up here. This is a little bit of commentary and quote from Evan Bland. Frost says he's a little sad about backing off play calling, but it's helping him focus on a lot of areas. Offense will still be a collaboration, and he isn't divorcing himself from it. Later on, Frost said, quote, "I definitely don't want to be just a figurehead." And he addressed this subject a multitude of times. Yeah, he's not buying the idea that his control has been taken away from the offense. He says he wants to have his hands in a little bit of everything, and it's definitely a collaboration between him, Whipple, and the rest of the staff. He said the one big positive of backing off a little, he's able to spend more time with the kids, which is a key thing. But I think it's important to mention, no narrative today from that coaching staff on the idea that Scott Frost has given up control of the offense. Not biting on that one damn bit. Okay, another subject Frost got into, NIL. We've talked about this before. It is a game changer. It's a massive thing in the world of college football. And a couple quotes here that are fun for you. Throw them up. NIL in general can be a distraction. And also, that's the good and bad about Nebraska. Interesting, right? Now, that second comment, we better put in a little bit of context there, right? Someone asked about, it's already been evident you're seeing a lot of players out across the state doing NIL deals in Nebraska. And that's the beautiful part about Nebraska, right? You are in a place where you can kind of almost lead the country in NIL because people here are so supportive of these student athletes. But on the other side, it can be really bad because people are really supportive of athletes in Nebraska. So there can be a multitude of stuff for these kids to have opportunities in. But as Frost mentioned, there's also this thing called getting your degree, going to class, and meeting all your football obligations. And I can imagine it could get a little overwhelming if you have a lot of sponsorship deals and other things to do. But at the same time, these college football programs, if they don't have their head on straight with NIL, they're not going to compete. So I did find those comments interesting, and I was thinking about, what would 18-year-old Z want for an NIL deal? Think about that one, fans. What would be your dream? And at 18, I was a scary individual. Well, hell, I still am, but I was thinking, like, what would I really want? I think the dream NIL deal for me would be like Miller High Life and Little Debbie snack cakes. If I had like a whole pile of 30 boxes and then a big ass pile of oatmeal cream pies, that would have probably been 18-year-old version of me's dream. So, yeah, I know, I'm a disturbing individual. But hey, we'll put up a social media question on this show. What's your dream NIL deal? Think back to when you were 18 years old. You could sign an NIL deal. get creative, the funniest stuff. We'll check on the show tomorrow and throw you a little love. So there you go. There's the NIL world. Okay, let's switch over to one of the leaders of the Husker football team, and no one's going to debate this. It's Garrett Nelson, a Nebraska native. You all know this, and he's probably one of the most passionate and interesting individuals to listen to. And today, he brought the hammer. He brought his A game. Let's talk about this quote up first. Okay, here. I just want to see him happy again. That is about Scott Frost. I promised myself no crying on this show. Made a deal with the staff that if I cry, I have to do 3 shots of Rumple Mints. And I really don't want to do that. But I'm kidding. I know. But it is a sad quote because no one wanted this to work out the way it has for Scott Frost and Nebraska football. And I think that's the passion of a Nebraska kid who believes with every ounce of his being in this program. And they really want to win for him. So that was just started off. But Nelson wasn't done. All right, everyone. We're going to get serious here because this next comment from Nelson, it's going to be a little bit of a truth and a gut check for a lot of people here. This one's a mic drop type of comment. We're going to throw it up there. Here we go. Quote, when you have professors or students or campus tour guides talk trash to you or your teammates all the time when you're just around campus, just the media and everybody, just to hear that constantly berate your university that you love and the players that you love and the coaches who are father figures who you love and are around every day, it destroys you as a player and as a man. So growing that chip on your shoulder every day from stuff like that, it's time to play, end quote. Wow. You wanted brutal honesty out of a media day appearance? It doesn't get more brutally honest than that right there. That is a big dog level quote from Garrett Nelson, and I got mad props for him for having the guts to sit there and say that. And it is a harsh reality when you think about the world of college football, because it's a business. Let's get the crap out of the way that it's a game. It is a game, but it's a business. And in a state like Nebraska, it goes beyond a business. It's a freaking passion. It's in your blood as a fan. You love this team, and you don't want anything more than them to succeed. When things don't go well, you're going to get mad. You're going to get angry, and people are going to show that frustration. That fan, right? We know the base of the word, right? It's fanatic. It's from the early days of baseball. They called people fanatics. It got shortened to fan. We know how people can behave, but something we probably better remember at all times. Yeah, Nebraska went 3-9 last year, but these kids are human beings. They give everything they have to these programs, and when they hear that stuff from all angles, and you can say all day, I love the people that say, we'll just block it out. You got to block out the outside noise. Bullshit. It's hard to block out outside noise, whether it's in your social life, at work, around your friends. When you hear people talking trash, it gets inside your skin. I don't care how much of a great Buddhist meditator you might be, it's going to get inside of you, and that's tough. And I think this quote's reflective of that these kids do go through a lot as they're trying to make Nebraska everything you want it to be. So this quote today was kind of the big one for me. There's a lot to that right there, and that gives us a lot to think about. So, props to Garrett Nelson for going there and not just throwing out a bunch of coach speak or cliche comments today. He threw that one out. That's leadership, my friends. And you hope Nebraska gets it turned around this year because that's going to be best for everyone involved. Time will tell. We're a few weeks away from the opener against Northwestern and Ireland. We'll see how this version of the Huskers are going to look and if they truly are ready, and it is, quote, time to play. Okay, off the serious note there, all the links are below for all the things we are writing about today from our whole crew up there. There's going to be some really good analysis deep down in there. Click on that stuff. And hey, you need a subscription right now? This is the time to do it, my friends. It is the time of year to make sure that subscription's up and running because you'll get access to everything. Check out the deal we got right now. 6 months of access for $1. That's right. A frickin' $1 gets you 6 months of access to omaha.com. That's going to get you every story, video, everything we do the entire football season. That's a hell of a deal. Omaha.com, subscribe, check it out. Get that subscription so you can read all of the wonderful things that we do. Until that time, in the spirit of Garrett Nelson, remember who we are inside, my friends, because we're all just corn this way.